Good evening. Right, this video tonight is about how much of a hard ass some of the authorised dealers in Britain can be. I have a friend, he's a business acquaintance, and I should call him for the benefit of this video, JW. And JW's 59 and a half years old, and he is looking to buy himself a new watch for his 60, or 2 new watches. Now, for his 50th, 9.5 years ago, he bought himself, at the price of around and about £10,000, a brand spanking new gold day date, solid gold day date, 10 grand, 2005. Okay, so here we are, fast forward 9.5 years, and after me sort of talking to him in the last 5-6 months about the brain, wanting to wear it every day and blah blah blah, he sort of, you know, mentioned that his gold day date comes out on sort of high days and holidays, as you can appreciate, and doesn't see that much wrist time. We can totally understand that. Okay, so anyway, he got talking to a friend of his who flashed a bimetal Daytona at him. Look at this, James. Boom. Bimetal Daytona. So JW, James, has bet he got the bug, and he thought, yeah, fancy one of them. I'm going to go into the 2 authorised dealers in Glasgow and see how much they'll offer me for my gold day date. So he walks in and went, now, on top of the fucking Daytona that he's looking at, he also wants a Panerai, right? So he's thinking to himself, I'm in a good position here. I've got a pretty much mint gold day date, right? I'm going to go to the authorised dealer and I want a bimetal Daytona and the Panerai. The PAM number escapes him. I'm sure he said it was a 104 or something like that. Anyway, so walks in the first authorised dealer, right? They offer him 5 grand. Now he tells them the score. 5 grand they offer him for the day date. 5 fucking grand. He was expecting his money back. He was expecting 10k, right? So they then sort of him and say, well, he said, because he basically said to him, fuck off, and told him what he thought. And this is a guy that, let's be fair here, is looking to spend, what, £16,000 on a brand new Rolex and Panerai. Okay, and they offer him 6 grand for his fucking day date. Okay, he then goes to another dealer, and they offer him the same deal. You know, he said to them what he wants a Daytona, wants this Panerai, whatever number, and they offer him 7 grand. And as you can appreciate, he's fucking not very happy. And it just goes to show you what hardball some of these authorised dealers are willing to pay. I mean, I actually thought he was in quite a good position. You've got a nice watch. You know, I mean, the gold day now is like fucking 23 grand or something, brand spanking new. As he said, to put that watch back on his wrist would be 23, 24 grand, and they're not offering him a third of it to trade it in. He was fucked right off, let me tell you. Fucked right off. So, well, my advice to him was, I would just keep the gold day date and go and buy yourself the Panerai, and don't even worry about the Daytona. Anyway, there's a unauthorised pre-owned dealer in Glasgow, and there's the arcade where they are, and this guy sits up the stairs a little bit out of the way. So he went in there and inquired, and the boys went, well, yeah, I could probably get a grey import, Daytona and save you £1,000 on it or so. Which, you know, for 11 grand, what? It's better than fuck all, but it's not the 30% discount that we hear about. Anyway, he said, well, I can, you know, pretty much offer you what the other shops have offered you for your gold day date. And James said to him, look, well, you know, what the fuck's the script with a gold day date, you know? And they go, look, man, he says, I've got 5 of them in here. He says, ranging from £7,500 up to sort of 13 grand for like a newer one. He said, they just don't hold about. He said, they're just second hand. He said, you get spun the fucking yarn when you're buying it new about how much it will retain its value, blah, blah, blah. He says, just gold. Nice. You know, and they basically say what we all know, and that is the fact that the enthusiasts don't want the gold watches. They want the steel watches. So, you know, fair dinkum. Anyway, I have left my friend in a... He's left in a quandary now. He's like, well, you know, what do I do here? he says, it seems to me that the general consensus is that his watch is worth about 6 to sort of 7,000-8,000 quid. I don't think he likes the idea of using like Chrono 24 or putting it on eBay or anything like that. You know, what does he do? What would you do? I mean, I know that, as I said, I suggested to him to keep it and just go and buy the Panerai, but he has his heart set on this Daytona. And so an interesting question for you all: what would you do? Would you stick or twist? Would you just go with the deal and get the fucking, you know, the new Daytona and Panerai and stomach the loss? It's a bit of a poser, but they are. But it just goes to show you what he said. Basically, the guy in the authorised deal, he said, was a wee bit of a prick with him, and I think this is what really irked him. He said the guy was sort of pretty, well, sorry, but that's all it's worth. And, you know, it was like, fuck off. No danger is $5 all that's worth, especially when it's not like he's gone into a pawn shop and said, here, what can you give me for this? Just give me the cash, I want to go. He's saying, I want to buy that and that, but I want to trade this in. I want you to give me a good fucking price. And in his head, he's thinking, this is going to cost me sort of 6 or 7 grand to change. And when they come back and say, well, no, it's not. It's going to cost you 10 grand to change. It's been a bit of a deal breaker. And they absolutely, this is what he said to Segun, they absolutely didn't fucking care that, you know, that's what we're going to give you, is the gold day date. Now, they must be making a mint off the Daytona New and off the Panerai. They must be making enough money off them two watches to surely to up the fucking game on the pre-owned, on the day date, but maybe not. Maybe there's just end at my head here. I've been in that retailer, that authorised dealer. I looked at a couple of El Primero Zeniths in there, and I'm the punter they want. They want me to go in there, right? Wee bit naive, and they want me to go in there and say, the likes of me to go in there and say, well, you know, I've got £1,000. Much credit can you give me on that watch? And they would say, oh, sir, you know, you can have that for fucking £100 a month over 4 years, plus like a £500 deposit. And for me to go, oh, okay then, and pay full whack for it. And it's a shame, because a guy like my friend has been a lifelong Rolex buyer. He's sort of pretty much always bought new, and they've pretty much told him to go fuck himself, let's be fair, which is a shame. So yeah, what would you do with it? If you're in that predicament, what would you do? Would you keep the Goldie, or would you trade up, or what? Having said that, it will be interesting to see what this independent pre-owned specialist comes back with the price for the bimetal Daytona. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here, folks. Nice to speak to you again. Okay, cheery.